hello everybody. Here I am in the gun room, and I am loading for my 11.15 by 5.8 1886 Mannlicher or my Verndl. They take the same cartridge. This is a 348 Winchester case. I'm using a CCI large rifle primer. The cases are not trimmed. They have been resized in my die set. I have a CH4D die set that I used the last time I loaded. I did buy the first time out. I used a 43 Mauser Lyman bullet mold, and that bullet was a 350 grain weight bullet. This one is roughly 372 grains diameter. 372 grain weight. Getting in a hurry there. They vary from 369 to 372, so close enough. The diameter coming out of the mold is 447 thousandths. They're not round, they're a little oblong. So I am running them through my Lyman lubricizer. It has a 450 thousandths diameter lubricizing die, and then I am going through the Lee sizing die at 447 thousandths, and it just gets the high spots is all it does. And then from there I take the 348 Winchester. These are already sized, obviously, and I am using my Lee Classic turret press, and then I go up in here and I size the neck, flare it open a little bit. The primer's in there, and put it under my drop tube, and I am waiting for the powder to measure out. The Cartridges of the World says 75 grains of 1F black powder, and that's what I'm using. I'm using Graf & Sons 1F black powder. I tried the Schutzen powder in another one of my guns, and I don't like the Schutzen. It's a little gummy and dirty, so I bought this, and now I'm waiting for this to finish. There we go. Okay, so it's 75 grains by volume, and I weighed that out, and it comes out to 78.3 grains by weight. And I'm running it through the drop tube, and yes, I'm in my pajamas. And so we're running in the drop tube, and it's in there nice, real nice. And then I'm getting a little piece of cotton, just kind of eyeballing it, putting that down in there on top of the powder, and then I cut out some little cardboard, thin cardboard wads, put on top of the cotton. And these wads are just a little bit bigger than the diameter in here, so I kind of press it in, and then I take this bullet that I've sized and lubed, and I seed it. And you can feel it slightly compressed. And then I have a 45 ACP Lee crimp die that I just used to put a very light crimp on here. And there's my bullet right there. I don't know what the overall length is. I haven't measured it. And I just know at chambers. Problem is I've got a generous throat on that rifle, and my cartridges, the cases on these are about 100,000 short of the original case. So I can't fully extend these out the way I'd like to get closer to the lands in the rifle, but this is the best I can do. And hopefully it's good enough, considering there's going to be some bullet jump there. But this accurate mold, I ordered a accurate mold and had it made. And I'm getting ready to try it, see how it works. Well, hello everybody. I am out at the range with my 1886 Mannlicher rifle at 11.15 by 5.8. And today I am shooting a 347 diameter bullet, weight of which I forget at the moment, but it'll be at the beginning of the video, using 348 Winchester brass. And the 348 Winchester brass, as I've said earlier, the case is roughly 100,000 short of the original cartridge. I'm at 50 yards, and today I'm using 75 grains of 1F black powder from Graf & Sons. It is also been run through a drop tube, and I have a small bit of cotton in a cardboard wad on top of the powder, and there's not a lot of compression on the powder, but the drop tube does that job for me. Now, a lot of my black powder cartridge guns, I'll use a light load of smokeless powder, but in this gun, if I use any smokeless, it would be a duplex load, and I haven't gotten that far yet. So 75 grains of black 1F that weighs out on my powder measure at 78.3 grains by weight. The reason I'm reluctant to use smokeless at all in this gun is because it is a wedge lock straight pull, and this is the wedge. And that's all it's holding.
You guys have 1 minute until ceasefire? You have 1 minute?
This is all it's holding that bolt in place, and I'm not real comfortable with putting any kind of high pressures on this bolt. So black powder is strictly all I'll use in this gun. Maybe a light duplex load down the road, but not today. All right, so after the break, we'll start shooting. So maybe I'll give you a close-up here. There's the wedge right there, and when you pull back, there's a little cam right here it follows on, and that's to allow the gun to, when you pull back, it drops that out, that wedge, so you can pull the bolt back. And when it's forward, the wedge locks into a groove in the rifle and holds the bolt in place. Again, this is all that's holding that bolt. Add that and a very small screw. So yeah, I'm not really thrilled about doing anything with that other than black powder. There's not a lot of videos on the internet about anybody using smokeless. They might, but I haven't heard anybody say it online. Maybe they have, and I just missed it. The Cobra 49, he does some shooting with his 1886, and he's probably the most frequent flyer when it comes to shooting this particular rifle. And then there are other people that own them, but there's a lot of shorts on them and not a lot of intense videos on the 1886 Mannlicher. So yeah, so after the break, we'll start shooting. Fun part's getting the bolt back in, and it's not difficult. It's just got to hold that cam in long enough to get it to go in. I had a cord or something, I'd put in here and hold it so that I could get it in there. Okay, let's try it again. Just need to get it. There we go. Now it's in. All right. Now, most of you probably know this rifle takes an in-block clip, and they go in at an angle, and that prevents rim lock, for one thing. And so we got 5 in there on the angle. And I could have extended those bullets out even farther, but I doubt that they would go into the magazine. Nope, they wouldn't go into the magazine. So the throat on this is really generous, and I only loaded like, I don't know, I think there's 12 or 15 rounds here. There's 5 in there, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 rounds in there. And it's just for test because I'm using a new mold. It's my accurate mold, which I'll put details at the beginning of the video on. So, okay, now it is locked in, believe it or not. I'm just ready to fire. There's the safety on this. And it's ready to safety's off. It should be drawing some black smoke. I'm just shooting to see if I can get any kind of a group today. So I can tell you is the trigger is very heavy on this. That one went in tight. Recoil's not bad. Those are hot coming out of there. And when I get to the last round, the in-block clip, it should drop out the bottom. Okay, come on. No, there's the in-block clip. All right. Very heavy. Okay. Well, I'm going to peek in the scope here. We're set at 100 yards right now. And see where it's hitting. Yep, it's set at 100 yards. Okay. Oh, they're kind of all over the place. So there's absolutely no improvement from last time I had it out with a different bullet. Actually, they're shooting low, and I only got absolutely no group at all. So I'm going to move the camera so you can see the smoke and all of that coming out. Done. Alright, well, I forgot to press record when I shot the last few rounds, but there were my first ones down there. And then I moved the elevation up, and you got some here, they're kind of all over the place, and then you got some here. So yeah, we're still not actually getting any kind of group of this thing. Still a work in progress. Well, it sucks. I didn't get the segment on camera, but I brought my elevation up and pointed downrange so I could see it, so you could see the smoke. So I apologize for that. So yeah, it's going to be a short video. The gun's in really nice condition. It should shoot better than it's doing right now, so I have yet to figure out why not. I'm going to try and find a parent cage, if I can get it flat loose. Maybe that'll make it as far as over the lane. I can't really get down any farther than that because I'm going the magazine. Yeah. Sorry about that. It's kind of cleaned up that last segment, but you get the idea. And out of those, whatever they were, 12, 13 shots, best I can do is say they were all on that giant target down there. Very few of them were on paper. So, all right, so I'm going to move on. And I'm disappointed, but it is.